Hello, all you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Brittany coming at you fast with another Paragon hero guide, and today we are going to be talking about the sexy soul stealer Sevarog, and he is pretty much a beast when it comes to tanking. Probably the best tank in the game so far. He is the newest character too, so I decided to make a guide on him next for you guys to see how to play him, because I've seen a lot of people struggle with him, and I personally have not. I have been tearing shit up with him, and he is an amazing tank. So let's get into how to build him, his abilities, how to slot him, how to play him early, mid, late game, end game, and how to be a total motherfucking god. Because you really can. He's pretty much the Grim Reaper. So, first things first, I'm the realist, and you want to kill all the people in the jungle like you always do in the first wave, but you also want to keep an eye on the lanes. The exact opposite of Kalari Sevarog is. I started talking like Yoda there. He is amazing at early game ganks because of his higher amount of health than your other typical junglers, and he has a couple of awesome abilities, including his long range stun. He is a mage tank, meaning that he has a lot of long range attacks. Well, actually he only has one long range attack, but it is the very useful long range stun attack. And he does rely a lot on his mana to cast his abilities and to progress. So you want to get 3 points in the beginning, and you want to get yourself some tempered plate, or you want to get yourself some barrier item on defense, depending on how many people they have on their side. Now, I'm going to show you a easy way to get souls, and you want to hit the middle enemy of a group, for example, line them all up with your Q or your square and reach out and grab with your Q. It's called Siphon. That ability is called Siphon, and basically when you get the last hit with that ability and you get the kills, what happens is you absorb souls, and there are 4 stacks with this guy. They stack at 20, 40, 70, and 100 souls. The counter is located at the bottom next to my square ability, right to the left of it, and it counts how many souls are captured. You get upgrades in the form of health, and you get bonus damage to your Siphon ability and to your ultimate. If it's not your Siphon ability, then it could be your subjugation, your long range stun ability. That could also be it. Basically, you just get more health and more damage when you upgrade and stacks, and you look like a sexy motherfucking beast. We're going to go over every single phase momentarily. But now, we're going another gank. We ran around in the jungle, we've gotten some points, and now we're going to go in for this gank right here, and you're going to see how to use his ultimate. You're going to wind up, you're going to swing, and you're going to hit him towards your teammates so he can't run from them, so they can deal some damage. Now, that was not the best angle to swing, as he did kind of fall down, but I do end up catching him off, and actually also, besides my axe, absorbing his soul with Siphon, and yes, it does count for your stack. So whenever you can, always kill minions with your Siphon. You want to be constantly absorbing souls, and then right there you can see my shoulder blades got an upgrade. If you missed it, go back, rewind. They actually got an upgrade, and now we can go back and spend our 6 points in round 2 in the jungle. I will be making a jungler guide. I need to actually hurry up and do that since I did just go over 3 junglers recently, but you want to get 3 points for your cards in the first round of jungling, 6 points in the second round, and preferably 9 in the third round, and so on and so forth. But we're just going to stack defense. We're going to stack the hell out of defense as our first item. Now, earlier I mentioned that you want to get the barrier or the guard depending on what situation you are in. And that depends on how many enemies on the other team use what kind of damage. If 3 out of the 2 enemies use physical damage over energy damage, put in the guard first. If 3 out of 2 use energy damage over the melee damage, then put in the barrier first. It all just depends on judgment, and a lot of tanking and a lot of jungling depends on judgment and situations that happen in the game itself. Now right here you see me pull the tank to myself. I'm not letting him protect his buddy, so our ADC kills their ADC, and we actually almost end up killing that tank. Maybe if I used my Siphon earlier, did some extra damage, I probably could have, but I decided to save it just in case I could steal his soul. But nonetheless, we're back at it. We ganked the ganker on the other team, the other Sevarog, and I ended up being better than the Sevarog in every other way. Now here's how to get away from stuff like that as Sevarog. You want to stun them first, then you want to try and move your way out of there. If you cannot move out of there, then you want to go back in, because Sevarog is a fucking tank. That's his point. If you have teammates near you, then you can actually tank the hell out of these guys while they focus in on you. Your teammates come up as Gideon, as Murdoch, as Twin Blast, and totally wreck their shiznobblers, because Let me tell you, man, this guy has so much health, so much defense when you stack him with the right cards, and it paid off right there. And now we're going to go with Alpha Guard, just because there are 4 enemies on the other team that have physical damage, so I want to be as maxed out on guard as I possibly can. That's why I go with Alpha Guard. Usually you don't need Alpha Guard. You could just go with more health or just another regular guard, but I wanted to overkill on defense, and it ends up paying off. Look at me absorbing Twin Blast ultimate. Look at me taking on 3 guys at once and smashing them all away with my ultimate, letting my teammates get away. That is how you play as a tank support with this character. Now, unfortunately, their Sevarog does kill our Murdoch, but everybody else is saved. I do end up stunning that Twin Blast, and Gideon almost gets the kill. He backs off. He just needed one more shot on him, but this confrontation was saved. We didn't lose too many people in that team battle, and we ended up getting better. Now, if you take a quick look at my shoulders, they did upgrade. That is the second stack of the soul stacks that you get when you grow. And here I'm 1v1ing their Sevarog. He tries to knock me away with his ultimate, but I have this long-range stun and end up hitting him. Look at the range on that stun. For a melee character, for a physical damage-based character, that stun is unbelievably long-ranged. Super-duper useful. Now, notice none of his attacks do much damage. None of my attacks do much damage, but I simply out-tank him. And because I see my friend pushing up middle lane, I'm going to go help him and take this inhibitor. And that's one thing about Sevarog that differs him from Kalari greatly, is that he is the exact opposite. You want to be in lanes a lot. You want to be in team battles almost all the time. You want to be the main guy on the front lines in all your team battles, tanking everything, of course, with all your ADCs and supports behind you. So let's go over the items while I still can, and also the slotting. So the items you want to build, like I said, your defense item first, then you want to build the other defense items, so you're going to see me build my barrier items after I finish my guard item. Here you're going to see a big team battle. Just pay attention to all the abilities that I've covered already. Here are just some great examples of how to use them, except for this one whiff that's coming up. But anyway, back to it. 2 defensive items in the beginning. The third item you want is actually for attack speed and attack damage. You want to build that a little bit to help you get through the jungle waves quicker, help you absorb souls quicker, which ends up giving you more health and more defense and more damage in the long run, in the end game and the late game, which is a good thing because this guy's a crazy end game player. And then you want to also go, I like to put Adamant Edge as my last thing because it gives me more health and more damage. So 2 defensive items, 1 attack speed, 1 attack damage, and then 1 attack damage, 1 health. You guys can check out my Beast Builds videos for a more concrete guide on the cards themselves inside the deck. Just look how much damage I'm absorbing. 4 people and a tower on me, and they still can't kill me. Unbefreaking-leavable, man. What a tank, man. What a tank. Now, for his skills, you obviously want to slot Siphon first, and every time you get the chance to, always upgrade Siphon. You want to be able to deal as much damage as you can, to be just absorbing everything in the jungle, in between us ganking in the lanes, which I've shown you guys how to do here. You're going to be spending the majority of your time in the jungle, siphoning the hell out of those minions, and then later game, as you're going to see, you can actually push lane and siphon up the minions that are in the lane as well, and I'll go over how to do that. So the next thing we're going to put is our Toon Barrier to help ourselves against their Gadget, who is the only energy player on the other team, but you never know, you want to be able to do it. And since I know there's only one of the energy players, I decided to go with Alpha Health there as well. And you can actually discard your Harvester Key near the end when you put all your Harvesters up and just put it into more card upgrades. Now, going back to the skills, you want to upgrade Siphon all the way. You want to make sure you have your stun second. You want to make sure you have your R1 or your right click third, which is your dash getaway. It helps you either get behind them and then combo that with your ultimate to swing the enemy into your teammate's direction, or it just helps you get away. It does absolutely no damage. It's just a movement ability, but it helps you get away, and you can actually phase through enemies when you do it. You're kind of like a ghost in that sense. You're pretty much like Satan. I don't say God, because this dude's pretty much like Satan. He'll take your soul. Now here you're going to see me upgrade again. Another soul stack. Look at those goddamn shoulder blades. Goddamn, somebody's been hitting the gym. You can literally poke some person's eye out with those things. Goddamn, super sexy looking. And we're back into the fight. Now check out this use of the ultimate. I ulti him into the tower. That's another useful thing to do, as this guy just ulti them into the tower, deal as much damage as you can, and ulti them into your teammates. Pretty awesome use of the ability right there as well. That's how you want to use your ults. And again, you can use the ult to save your enemies by batting them out of the park away from your teammates. So wrapping out our powers, make sure you focus on Siphon and your stun as much as possible. Focus on your melee attack as much as possible. And here you see me slotting all the items that I mentioned before with damage and attack speed. And here is the end game. Now, early game is from 0 to 10 when it comes to minutes. Medium is 10 to 20, late is 20 to 30, and end game is past 30 minutes in my opinion. It can differ, it depends. And there you see the last upgrade. Look at those motherfucking things. I just grew antennas. I'm like a satellite. I get better reception than what Comcast cable gives me. It's fucking unbelievable. I look like a total pimp, and I'm ready to hit this twin blast with the long-range stun. And I miss. And he gets away. So there is a skill aspect to it. You do want to be able to hit the stuns, but we go back. We see a Kalari trying to run away, stun her. We do hit that stun, thank God. Or thanks Satan, up close, and our ADC gets that kill. There we flip and go, and now we're able to push up and win the game afterwards. Now you're going to see me here actually do what I do best as this character, and that's intimidate the hell as a tank. Now this Twin Blast knows he can't kill me. He knows he has to get back. He knows that I have a teammate with me that's going to come, so he's going to try and rush me, and I'm going to try and stun him again. Get my redemption. I'm going to stun him, and I miss again. Fuck! But we do actually catch up with him. Murdoch does kill him, and we actually get the kill. Now, we're still pushing up. We're clearing this lane of minions, and we're going to go up to the inhibitor, try and get that inhibitor, because the inhibitor is the most important thing to destroy on our way over them. And as we push up, as we try to get closer, we're actually going to get kind of blocked, kind of stopped. But doesn't matter, because we're actually going to end up pushing through anyway and destroying this inhibitor, as you guys are going to see here. So basically, let me summarize real quick if you guys missed anything. You want to stack defense and health in the very beginning as much as you can. You want to be a tank, and you want to avoid dying at all costs and just saving your teammates. If you see your teammates need help, gank immediately. Don't be a scaredy bitch like Kalari. You are a god as Sevarog or Satan, and you're going to go and save your teammates by hammering the hell out of the enemies, making them fly away, stunning them so your teammates can get away, and stuff like that. Sevarog is an amazing tank, plays amazing support, and look at the range on that stun. That is the maximum range right there, but that's an insane stun. I actually stunned somebody under their inhibitor, and that's another thing. A lot of people don't know about the range of the stun yet, and the stun catches people off guard. Like this guy turns around, thinks he can get away, but he can't, and I turn around and home run him back into my ally. Ally's gonna get some hits on him, and I'm actually gonna suck up the soul afterwards. That's another thing. You don't get any bonuses for sucking up souls once you get to this last stage of transformation, so don't even bother with it anymore. You don't have to worry about it at all. But, you know, extra souls are nice for the counter. Now, here's another confrontation. Me playing as the tank, trying to save my teammates, trying to knock them away. I do not get a teammate there, but here's an amazing way how to get away from 3 people at once. Sevarog, like I said, throw down the stun. If they get too close, knock them back, actually, because this sends them flying. Turn around and sprint out of there. If you need another little bonus, you can actually use your R1 or your right mouse button click to get out of there. But we didn't need it, and we ran out of mana. That's why you always want to keep that mana potion. As you see me discarding everything else, you always want to keep that mana potion, because his mana is pretty low, and as a mage tank, he does need to use his abilities a lot. Even though we don't slot him for mana that much, because you don't use his abilities too often, and that's why you always keep going with blue buff and red buff. Now right here, we're going to finish out the game. We're going to kill this guy as we get orb prime. Again, I'm going to slam him as he tries to aim at my Murdoch, who is actually carrying the orb. I get in front of him with my body. Notice how little damage I take, guys. This guy's an unbelievable tank. I just tanked an ultimate from an ADC who's pretty much maxed out in endgame, and that did about half damage to me, which is really not that much considering we're going to regen a good amount of it, and we got the buff. So here we go. We're going to close this out, and that's it. So, summarize it all up. Play as a tank. Save your teammates. Don't be selfish. If it means you die and your 4 teammates are saved in a team fight, go into that team fight and save your teammates. It's fine for the tank to die if it's something like that, but don't die more than 4 or 5 times as a tank. Otherwise, you're not really a good tank, are you? But anyway, there we guys have it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Drop a comment if you've watched at this point of the video saying Sevarog is sexy, and I will know you've watched this whole video. It helps me out a ton. And as always, guys, make sure y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Sorry if I totally butchered the shit out of that. Haven't made a guide on her yet. But when you stand in front of them, they have a chance of dodging you. When you get behind them, however, you have a chance to actually sandwich them in. For example, in this situation, my teammates were attacking them in the front, so I'm going to go invisible so they do not see me, and I am going to get an awesome MLG trick shot, headshot throwing knife on motherfucking rocks over there trying to teleport away, and actually help Rampage kill the team as well, so I get a kill and an assist out of it. Looking good on XP, right?